The world of Arixia had once been a thriving hub of technology and culture in the galaxy. Towering cities of crystalline spires stretched high above its lush, green forests, and starships glided effortlessly through the atmosphere. But all of that had changed with the war. The once prosperous planet had been reduced to a wasteland after a long and brutal conflict with the Vrith, an aggressive alien race that ravaged entire civilizations in their quest for dominance. Among the many casualties of the war was the royal family of Eryxia, their lineage and legacy lost in a devastating battle. But from the ashes of their destruction, there remained a single survivor, a young alien girl named Lyra. Lyra was different from the others of her race. While most of the Eryxians were tall and elegant with shimmering translucent skin and delicate wings, Lyra was born with a disability, a twisted spine and malformed legs that rendered her unable to walk. Her wings, once meant to carry her through the skies, were small and weak, unable to lift her. In a society where strength and beauty were revered above all else, Lyra had been considered a burden, an embarrassment to her family. Her parents had tried to hide her away, keeping her out of the public eye. But when the war came, they were forced to flee, and during their escape, they were tragically killed, leaving Lyra alone on a dying world. For months, she wandered the ruins of Eryxia's once beautiful cities, searching for food, shelter, and anything that could keep her alive. But as the years passed, her body weakened, and her hope faded. She had given up on ever finding kindness again. She had become just another casualty of a war that had long been forgotten by the rest of the galaxy. But one fateful day, as she lay in the wreckage of an old palace, struggling to stay conscious, a new presence arrived. A human father, named Gabriel, and his young daughter, Ava, had been sent to the planet as part of a diplomatic mission to salvage what remained of the war-torn planet. Gabriel was a former soldier, now turned mechanic, and Ava was his adventurous and curious young daughter. They were sent to Eryxia to retrieve valuable resources left behind in the ancient cities. But Gabriel wasn't prepared for what he would find. When they first came across Lyra, Gabriel had been fixing an old piece of machinery when he heard a soft sound, a faint cry for help. Following the sound, he discovered the young alien girl, barely conscious, her skin bruised and battered from years of neglect. Her wings, once beautiful and vibrant, were torn and ragged, unable to provide any comfort or solace. Lyra had been left to die, and yet here she was, clinging to life with all her remaining strength. Gabriel's heart clenched when he saw her. As a father, he couldn't ignore the pain and fear in her eyes. His first instinct was to help, and without hesitation, he scooped her up into his arms, carrying her to the nearby shelter they had set up. Ava, ever curious and full of compassion, followed close behind, asking questions about the alien girl and why she was hurt. "Don't worry, little one," Gabriel said softly as he gently placed Lyra on a soft mat in the shelter. "We'll take care of her." Ava, always full of energy, sat by Lyra's side and began to talk to her. She didn't care about Lyra's disability or the way she looked. To Ava, the young alien girl was just another being in need of kindness. Lyra, at first unsure of their intentions, hesitantly listened to the girl's words. As Ava gently took Lyra's hand, the alien girl felt something stir inside her. A flicker of hope, something she hadn't felt in years. Gabriel worked tirelessly to care for Lyra. He was a skilled mechanic and engineer, and he used his talents to build a device that would allow Lyra to walk again. It wasn't perfect, but it was something, a simple exoskeleton that supported her weight, allowing her to stand and move, if only with the help of crutches. Over time, Lyra began to heal, both physically and emotionally. Gabriel and Ava never once saw her as a burden. They loved her for who she was, not for what she lacked. They took her to their home, a small outpost on a nearby planet, where they continued to care for her, giving her a family she never thought she would have. But as Lyra grew stronger, so did the bond between her and Gabriel's family. Ava, who had always wanted a sister, began to see Lyra as one of her own. They would play together, share stories, and laugh. And Gabriel, though a hardened soldier who had seen the worst of the galaxy, found his heart softening in ways he hadn't expected. The love of his daughter and the unconditional trust of Lyra had rekindled something inside him, a sense of purpose and a hope for the future that he thought he had lost long ago. However, not everyone was so accepting of Lyra's presence. As the war between the Vrith and the remnants of Eryxia raged on, Lyra's existence became a symbol of the past, something the Vrith saw as a reminder of their failures. They knew the royal bloodline of Arixia had been extinguished, but with Lyra alive, there was always the possibility that the last hope of Eryxia's people could be reborn. The Vrith were determined to wipe out any remnants of the past, and they would stop at nothing to do so. One fateful day, a Vrith warship appeared in the skies over Gabriel's outpost. The Vrith had come, and they were ready to finish what they had started. They demanded that Lyra be handed over to them, or they would destroy everything in their path. Gabriel knew they couldn't fight the Vrith directly, but he wasn't about to give up without a fight. He took Lyra and Ava, hiding them in the depths of the planet's underground caves. As the Vrith forces searched for them, Gabriel worked with the local resistance, coordinating a plan to destroy the Vrith's flagship and cripple their forces. When the time came, Gabriel and the resistance launched a daring attack on the Vrith fleet. Using guerrilla tactics and the resources they had scavenged, they managed to destroy the warship, sending the Vrith forces retreating into the stars. In the aftermath of the battle, Gabriel, Ava, and Lyra stood together, victorious. The Vrith had been defeated, and Lyra was finally free to live her life without fear. But more importantly, she had found a family, a human family who had shown her love and compassion when no one else would. As Lyra stood beside Gabriel and Ava, feeling the warmth of their embrace, she realized that her disability, her broken wings, had never truly defined her. It was the love and kindness she had found in her new family that had given her the strength to keep going. With her newfound freedom, Lyra knew that the future was bright and that she would never be alone again.